What's up, guys? Justice here, and today the gym is actually empty. It's almost never happens, so I'm going to record a quick video. I'm about to start an upper body workout that I'm going to record and put in a different video, but like I said, gym's empty. Going to take advantage of it. So today I want to talk about volume, and specifically volume related to strength and muscle gains, of course, because that's what everybody wants, right? To get bigger and stronger. So volume, just to start off, and this is something that you should definitely understand if you're somebody who doesn't understand, is somebody starting out, somebody interested in getting stronger, getting bigger. Total volume is very closely connected to increases in strength and increases in size. Study after study has shown that total volume is that driving factor. It's not the sets by themselves that you pick, the number of them. It's not the reps by themselves, the number you pick. And it's not the percentage of 1 rep max by themselves. It's those things coupled together in a way that increases your total volume. So if you're increasing your total volume, you will get stronger and you will get bigger. Now, obviously, there's strategic ways to do this, but the point of this video is high volume training is something that's, of course, advocated by a lot of people. And this video is going to sort of clear up a couple things. One, why that works, why high volume training does work, and basically who should do it and who should not do it in a relative sense. So high volume training, of course, works because the volume is high. And like I just said, it's been shown study after study that high volume is linked, or volume is itself is linked to increases in strength and size. So if you have a high volume program, you have no choice but to grow, because that's what volume does. It helps us to increase strength and size. The problem is, a lot of people jump into high volume training before it's appropriate. So you have to do what's appropriate for you at the time. If you are a beginner, jumping on a super high volume program makes no sense. You're gonna decrease the marginal benefit that you get with increased volume. So what that means is, by jumping all the way up to here with volume and skipping the steps in between increasing volume, yeah, you're gonna make a lot of progress, but one thing, you're gonna stall, because once you get to a certain amount of volume, you adapt to it, and the only way to increase strength and size at that point would be to do more volume. And you're already doing a ridiculous amount of volume, so what are you gonna do? You have to start to think about that when you're gonna jump to a high volume program. The other thing is, the gains that you'll see from here to here over a short period of time will be less overall than if you took the longer route and took steps and steps and steps. The other big thing is that if you jump to a high volume program that's too much volume too soon, you run a bigger risk of injuring yourself, right? Higher amounts of volumes can be very taxing, and they can lead to form breaking down and all these different things. And so as a beginner, you're at a high risk of injuring yourself if you jump on a high volume program. So what you want to do is ride out whatever train you're on as long as you can. If the volume that you're on you're seeing progress with it, then you don't need to jump on a super higher volume thing. You can just up it, keep it how it is. And then when that stops, you up it a little bit, and you up it a little bit, and you ride out that as long as you can before you go to the next one. Because we're in this for the long term, right? Keeping that in mind, that it's a long-term process, will keep you from making a big mistake like jumping on a super high volume program arbitrarily without thinking about where you are in progress and thinking about the risks and cons of doing so. So that's the point I want to drive home today. Make sure your volume is appropriate for you, the stage of training that you're in, and just make sure that if you're trying to progress, that you're looking at total volume. That's very important. And like I said, there's other factors, of course, depending on if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced. But at the end of the day, volume is that driving factor. Keep it under control. Don't go crazy with volume. Just because it's a driving factor doesn't mean you abuse it, and do as much as possible. And also, in a case for frequency, you don't want to do too much volume in one session, because the muscle damage will be so much so that your total volume over a week will actually decrease. So spread it out. Have multiple days that you're hitting the same body parts. 2 is a nice spot for intermediates and even beginners towards the intermediate stage. I like to start my beginners out on full body programs at first, very low volume, but increasing the frequency so they get familiar with the movements and everything. And then I'll start to split it upper and lower probably around 2 times a week instead of maybe 2 or 3 times a week of full body with a little more volume. So there's many ways to do these things, but keep in mind the volume. Keep in mind weekly volume, not just in one day. You don't want to just throw in as many sets as possible in one workout session because you need to recover. And keep in mind that the volume should be what you need, not too much more, and definitely not too less. So that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions, anything to add to this conversation, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I need to hit this workout.